Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone that is either on with us live today or that will be listening to us at a different recorded date. However, with that being said, my name is Malako Balai. I'm Senior University Relations Manager for Empower Financing, and it's a pleasure to be able to speak to each and every one of you all today as you continue to go through your journey with McDonough School of Business. And so a little bit about us today is that we will be doing a quick overview about Empower. We'll sort of highlight some reasons on why we feel that Empower would be a great option for many of you students here today. We also will be highlighting various different supports that we're able to offer for everyone. And then we'll do have a Q&A session towards a little bit towards the end there. So feel free to reach out for anyone that may have a little bit more of a unique situation. We'll definitely share our email contact so that you'll be able to get connected with us on a one-on-one. So for those of you, whether you're familiar with us throughout the past or not, Empower, our mission-driven focus is that we do believe social economic mobility should be borderless. Essentially, we want to remove any of those financial barriers that many great students such as yourself may or may not be facing, so that the only thing that would need to be focused on is just your academic performance and your career moving forward. So a little bit about Empower. We are an international team throughout. Starting with our very two founders, even to this day, almost if not every one of the company is either a direct descendant of an international student or international students themselves. We say that just to show that we're a global family and we truly have your best interests at heart. So typically some things that we're being faced with from students on a day-to-day would either been that they've been accepted into a great university. However, why are they being required to provide some sort of cosigner in order for them to receive funding? And if it maybe is in that situation more so, it may just be the very process within itself being very strenuous, a lot of essentially running around to banks. It's a very interesting time that we're going through now globally with the the global pandemic situation where there may be closures, there may be a series of challenges that would prevent you from doing so. And so those are two things that we really wanted to drive and fix moving forward. And so a quick high level explanation of what Empower and what ways we're able to support you. These are no cosigner loans as well as scholarships. Now, we will never require any type of cosigner, no collateral or credit history from any one of you. As far as the financing amount, we're able to support students up to the amount of $50,000. That will be in USD. And the loan term will be up to a total of 12.5 years the total once the student graduates. For those of you, our loans can cover tuition, housing, meals, other expenses, other school-related expenses as well, healthcare. There wouldn't be any limitation to any of those. Each of our interest rates that we're able to provide will be fixed, starting as low as 6.49 up to 13.99. Many students do find that they prefer a monthly sort of monthly consistent payment form, and we'll actually be jumping into that in a second here. We also provide various ways for students to earn various discounts. This can be as simple as setting up automatic payment every month and other small incentives such as that. One thing is that we like to focus on is that this does build your US credit history. Interestingly enough, when we look at students that are first reaching out to Empower, they're most likely doing so due to a lack of credit history. And so being able to provide, being able to help build that credit history will eventually lead them to having more options and credit products available to them at a later time. Now, we do provide visa support letters. These are for students that do receive their loan approvals. And that's another thing that we'll touch on here in a second as well. And finally, there is no prepayment penalty. So you are able to pay this off as soon as you like. We will be truly happy to see you do so as well. Now, we are very appreciative of the support we've been able to provide throughout the years, such as the case when we do receive recognition, whether it may be through NerdWallet, considering us the #1 student loan for international students, and various Investopedia and US News and World Report as well. So we thank each and every one of you, and we hope that we can continue to support you moving forward. So essentially, the two main criteria that we're looking at when applying for an Empower loan, the first would be you would have to be accepted into this McDonough's to your MBA program here, but more importantly, you have to be graduating within 2 years. I would like to think that most, if not every single one of the students that would be joining would fall within that category. But then for anyone else, maybe you're thinking of a family member, you're thinking of a friend, yes, essentially be accepted into a degree seeking program, be graduating within 2 years from an approved university such as Georgetown University. Now, for each and every one of you, if you haven't had the chance yet to visit our website, we can be located at empowerfinancing.com. Simply, you're able to click get started, or more importantly, take your time to learn more before you begin that journey. We like to consider ourselves as being unique in a set of different ways. The first of which is better, easier, and then cheaper. Now, we believe that Empower is better, and due to a number of reasons, starting with our no collateral, no cosigner, guarantor, co-applicants, any of those sort of things that students may be experiencing or hurdling looking for financing currently. There isn't any restrictions on school expenses, as we had mentioned. We are able to support any and all degree programs. Now, we do like to consider ourselves more than a lender. We also essentially are able to help you with our Path to Success program. This is where we're able to provide resume support, career services. Of course, from a payment side, we're able to be very flexible with students, especially in this current sort of global environment now. And as mentioned, there is the benefit of building your credit profile as well. So a couple of key points here. As far as why we know and feel that we are easier is starting with a completely digital online process. 30 seconds typically to check your eligibility within an application, 30 minutes to complete the application once, essentially before so, and then finally 3 days for getting up to quickest 3 days to getting a decision and an approval. So fairly quick. And one thing that we really like to hone in on is just that. When we see and speak with various students, we hear stories of them having to maybe bring a parent in. There are other students who, as mentioned earlier, they're having to go from one bank or go to this situation. So it's completely digital. It can be as simple as you taking a screenshot on your phone of the various documents that you have and simply uploading it to your dashboard. Now, why we feel that we're cheaper will be for a couple of reasons here. So as mentioned, we only offer fixed interest rates throughout the entire lifetime of the loan. And so typically for international students that will be pursuing a graduate program, your interest rates are as low as 10.49 fixed. Secondly, there are no any of those associated fees that you see listed here that a lot of times students ask about when seeing other different type of lending options as they continue to do their searches. And finally, the loans that we do disperse to the universities will be in USD, so they're not impacted by currency depreciation as well. So as each and every one of you continue to do see what other lending options are great for you before you begin your program at McDonough, we sort of do a quick highlight of our fixed interest rates compared to variable interest rates. So typically, we would essentially take the burden on the lender. Let's say when it comes to a variable rate, there are various factors that could cause the interest rates to fluctuate, certain market conditions or indexes. And in some cases, or in most cases, a portion of that will be passed down to the borrower. But however, in our situation with Empower, it would always remain the same no matter what. There, as mentioned, of course, with that, no interest rate increases. However, we do also make sure that the monthly payments do not change. So student support. The three ways that students are able to earn an interest rate reduction would be for as simple as signing up for automatic payment. You'll receive a 0.5 percentage point. Once you make 6 months of continuous and consecutive on-time payments, you will receive another 50%, 0.5% discount while on autopay. And finally, you'll receive a third discount for providing proof of graduation and full-time salaried employment. We do like to add that the full-time salaried employment can be anywhere in the world. So whether you're still here and located in DC or the surrounding area or back home, that's perfectly fine as well. One other thing that we do like to highlight is that we do offer a series of rotating scholarships throughout the year, and we try our best to make sure that we cover every and all groups that we may encounter. For example, one scholarship that you'll be able to see on our website now will be our Global Citizen Scholarship. Typically, this is for international students. Most, if not all, international students would be able to apply. And for that reason, we ask to just quickly double check the criteria when you visit our page. Then, of course, you'll see the various other scholarships that we have either run historically, as well as the Women in STEM. That is also one that we are currently or recently running. Now, we also like to mention that for any of you who are a domestic student as well, yes, we do provide scholarships for domestic students. Always check with us whether you've received your funding and just may need some scholarship at a later date. Hey, definitely reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to see you again. So to kind of dive a little bit deeper on our Path to Success program. So typically, we are able to provide support in these key areas. So visa and immigration support. Now, how we're able to go about doing that is once a student receives a loan approval, what we'll do is in their student dashboard, essentially this is your online platform, you'll just get an e-version of this document. This is an official document that Empower will author that you'll be able to take with you as you go through your visa process in order essentially just a confirmation of funds on your behalf. Secondly, as we mentioned, credit building is a key factor. We can't stress that enough. Just because upon the student graduating from their degree, they will have a lot more options and resources that allow them to further transition into their time after graduation or at a later date. Now, career prep and resume review. This is something that we have in partnership with our human resources team, as well as our Path to Success team, where they'll actually be able to do one-on-one reviews and give essentially feedback to each and every one of you that would be interested in that. We also have job interview training, being able to support you in that form. But more so importantly, we also have assimilation support. This is something that some of you may not be familiar with. And so essentially, if you take the sort of transition of an international student coming to the US for the first time, there's a good chance they may not know anyone. There's an even better chance that they wouldn't know their way around. And so what we do is we'll even help to have students be connected with other similar students to themselves, a little bit of a networking. You'll be able to get sort of a one-on-one with students to see what they're able to do. It can be as simple as where do you shop, where places, where can I find things? We completely understand how it feels considering we've been in those shoes before. So we just want to be able to meet you in every single way that would be helpful for you. Finally, due to the unforeseen pandemic environment that we are currently in, for students that may or may not be facing some sort of financial challenges now or in the future, we'll be able to be very flexible to make sure that the payments and various things surrounding that are able to be handled in a low stress way. So yes, these are real students. No stock photos. And so essentially this just to show that this is a meaningful impact that we do truly see that borderless financing is able to provide. Students that have literally reached out, sent us videos thanking us and essentially saying it's changed their life. And honestly, at the end of the day, you all are the ones that are doing the actual hard work. And we just want to be able to make sure that there are no other challenges that would even stop you on your path. Well, we thank you all and we appreciate everyone that joined. Alrighty, take care, you each and every one of you. Have a great day or evening. Bye-bye.